Welcome to this episode of The Connection Point, brought to you by Mr. Appliance of Knightdale. Check out their website at mrappliance.com/Knightdale, serving Johnston County. We'd like to thank them for the opportunity to bring you this Connection Point.
So hello, everybody. Mike Mancuso from the Triangle East Chamber of Commerce here with our Connection Point. And our guest today is Donna Bailey Taylor from the Johnston County Visitors Bureau. Donna, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're sure looking forward to learning more about you and the Visitors Bureau.
Okay.
So let's start off and have you tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I can start at the beginning, I guess. I was born in Durham, North Carolina, and my mom was a nurse at Watts Hospital, and my dad worked for the federal government. So we lived in Durham until I was about 6 years old, and then we started going around to different military bases for his job. So I kind of call myself like a military brat. I went to 10 different schools before I got out of high school. But my last tour of duty, I guess, was in Fayetteville. My dad was at Fort Bragg, and I went to Pine Forest High School and graduated in 1977. I shouldn't tell any dates, so you guys can't figure out how old I really am.
I'm not good at math, so.
Okay. I went on to school in Chapel Hill and got a degree in business. I got out of school and went into the hotel industry. I was in hotel sales and marketing, and I did that for 12 years. It's long hours and every holiday, and I totally understand what our hotel owners do for a living every day to welcome guests and to work around the clock. But I ended up raising my son by myself, Trey, and came back to Johnston County after working at the Durham CVB for 3.5 years. So I got out of the hotel business and went into destination marketing. The hours were a little bit better, but a lot more travel. So my parents helped me raise Trey.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a chance to apply for this job, and my family's from Johnston County, so it kind of felt like coming home to me. I didn't grow up here, but I have a lot of fond memories of summers on my mom's and dad's farm where they live today outside of Benson. So spent a lot of summers picking crops in the morning. I say crops, probably just snap beans and corn and potatoes and stuff with my grandma in the morning. She always put me on the short row, she said, but when you're 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever, it looks really, really long.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed my summers with my grandma outside of Benson. So my dad's from Benson and my mom's from Clayton.
Oh, very good. So you're a local girl.
Got a lot of roots. I always say I have a lot of roots here in Johnston County.
There you go.
A lot of roots, but didn't grow up here.
Well, it sure sounds like your career took you in a great path back to us, and to be able to help our tourist industry here. Our retail and hospitality folks really are a big piece of our economy. So tell us all the work that the Johnston County Visitors Bureau is doing that supports all that. I think there's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes that most people don't know about.
Mm-hmm. Well, our mission at the Visitors Bureau is to attract and serve visitors to the county. And it's a lot more than just hotel stays. Obviously, we have the outlet center and we have our downtown areas that are thriving with retail and restaurants. We also have some great venues for weddings. We have some sports venues. We try to attract some sporting tournaments. And we also have a small amount of meeting space. We've always wanted a little bit more meeting space in the county. But the tourism industry is very diverse. It's hotels and restaurants and shopping and recreation and attractions and meetings and conventions. So it's sometimes hard to wrap your arms around exactly what we're doing. But majority of our business in Johnston County is leisure. We have 2 interstates, as everybody knows. It brings a lot of visitors down the I-95 corridor and the I-40 corridor, and probably represents about 70% of our business is leisure. And some people say, well, why do you have to market to the people coming down I-95 or I-40? Because they're going to stop. And, 20 years ago, there were, hotel rooms were very scarce on the weekend. but there's been a lot of development on I-95 and I-40 in the last 20 years, so we have a lot of competition. We're out there trying to get people to stay in Johnston County and not in Wilson or Dunn or Rocky Mount or our competition along the corridor. So yeah, we're out there with billboards, and we do print advertising, we do email campaigns, we do direct mail, we do personal visits to AAA offices and our welcome centers. We go to trade shows for Leisure Market. We go to group motor coach shows as well. We do a lot of PR and marketing with press releases and social media. So it's from A to Z what we're doing to touch anybody that has an interest in what we have to offer. Somebody say, well, I've heard people say, all you do is market the outlet center. And I said, well, you know, it is 7 million people who come through our county to shop at the outlet center. And I get that. But when they're at the outlet center, we want them to head downtown or head over to the winery while they're here, or go get a beer at Double Barley and see what else there is to do in the county. The outlet center is what gets them here. We market everything they can do once they get here to experience our communities. So it's very diverse things that we do, and hopefully we're doing them very well.
Well, I think you are. Any idea, you know, when you look at that whole sector, how much income that is to the county? You know, when you add in the outlet centers and all of the hospitality and all the things there are to do here, it's got to be a pretty big number.
Well, visitor spending in 2019 was around $290 million. And that is based on a study that comes out of the Visit NC team over with the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina. It's an annual study, and it measures pretty much just your leisure traveler. For us, it doesn't really dive too deep into our outlet shopping visitor, because it's a model that the state uses that we can't customize just for Johnston County. So it kind of leaves out a lot of our visitor spending at the outlet center. But it is a good snapshot of how important visitor spending is in the county, how many jobs we have in the tourism sector, how much sales tax they're generating, that kind of information, which is important. Sales tax impacts every municipality in the county, which is good. That the outlet center is driving a lot of that spending and a lot of that visitor tax. So,
well, and I think too, if you could explain a little bit, I think that's a phenomenal point of how much income is coming into the county, how much tax revenue is going back to the county. But I think the really unique story that most people don't understand is how you're funded, and it's not funded from tax dollars.
Not sales tax, no. It is funded by a rooms tax, and that means only visitors staying in our hotels who spend the night, spend the week, or here for business are generating a rooms tax, and that's 3% countywide. That tax is, you know, a countywide tax that generates right at $1 million worth of revenue for us, not in this year, but generally around $1 million. And you know, your local ad valorem taxes or your local property taxes are not what funds our marketing efforts. It's pretty much all the visitor that stays in our county. There's also a rooms tax in Smithfield, Selma, Benson, and Kinley. That's a 2% tax, and that is totally dedicated to those towns. So I like to say we have like 5 marketing plans. I have a countywide marketing plan that is funded by the 3%, and then each town has their own 2% marketing plan that we develop with a committee in each town. And they kind of drive what projects they want to do with that 2% and what marketing that we do on their behalf. So we execute all that for the towns as well as the county.
Yeah, and I think that's a huge story that doesn't get told enough. That, you know, us living here in Johnston County, we don't pay a dime for what you do that then drives in benefits for all of us. So thank you for you and your team and all the work you do. Can you tell us a little bit about what you're working on and you know, some of the projects that you guys house at the Visitors Bureau?
Well, right now, obviously, with the pandemic and the reduction in our rooms tax, we're probably running about 36, 38% down compared to last year. But we've been very fortunate. We've applied for a couple of grants, and we've also been participating with the marketing credit program that Visit NC developed. So our marketing message is actually getting out there, which is good for us. We concentrate on the North Carolina market, those people who are looking to get out of the city, get out to places like Howell Woods or Clemens, get on the greenways, get out into recreational areas with their families, and pretty much within a 100-mile radius, we concentrated our marketing efforts. We do have good visitation out of Virginia, and as far as Charlotte and as far as Atlanta, and Washington, D.C. are pretty much our drive markets for weekend excursions or activities. So we kept it pretty local with that. We used billboards and digital campaigns, Google, Facebook, some email campaigns as well. So that's all had to be done by December 30th because all the funding was designated from March until December 30th. So I don't know what's going to happen after December 30th. There will be more stimulus packages or incentives or help for small businesses, but we hope there will be, so we can continue on.
I also think another story that most folks don't understand, and in normal times, your organization also sets aside some of its funding that's brought in by tourism to help local municipalities do festivals and different events through grant programs. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I know this year wasn't a big year for that, but it's...
No, we didn't fund either one of our grant programs this year. Obviously, most every festival that normally happens was canceled this year, but since the beginning of time, the Bureau was created in 1987. We've had two programs, one of them capital tourism grants, where we invest in the tourism infrastructure in the county, and the other has been our matching marketing or festival marketing grant programs, where we we give $1,000 or we give $500, and our festival organizers use that for marketing to supplement. We don't do a lot of marketing in the county. So because our focus is to bring visitors from outside the county into the county. So our local organizers use those funds in local venues like the radio stations or local print, or they print their flyers and their promotional materials with the money that we give them to help market their festivals. We've been doing that for 30 years now.
Yep. Well, and hopefully we'll get back to normal here shortly and be able to go back to that for sure.
Yeah. Right now we're using our social media where we can. We do a lot more promoting posts that help announce different events and things that are managing to be pulled off. So we're not actually giving grants, but we're using our own funds to help spread the word.
Also, I think is worthy to mention here is the work your team has done, just really helping to support our local businesses during this time. It's been tough for especially all our small businesses. Can you talk a little bit about what you've been doing there? I know it's greatly appreciated by the businesses that I work with daily.
Well, I know we kind of use a new, frequently used word now, as we had to pivot. And we turned all our messaging really inside the county to help our local businesses know what was going on. What do the executive orders mean for your business? We started just a hashtag, which is JoCo Strong, and really focused on how to get them the information that they needed. We set up web pages, we set up content on our website. We do weekly or bi-weekly emails to our local partners to let them know where they may be able to, apply for funds, or the MER program, or the PPP, or, because it's very complicated. These are things we don't do every day. And frankly, probably in working in the industry for 40 years, and most of my peers would probably say the toughest year we've ever experienced in the tourism industry. Our industry pretty much was shut down. Yes. Along with other industries. Some industries continue to work, where grocery stores are flourishing, like nobody's holding an event, or all your wedding venues have suffered, and we can't mass gather. So I think restaurants got completely shut down. So our industry was not targeted. It feels like we were targeted. Maybe that's not the right word.
Right.
But it's had a huge impact on our particular industry. And the recovery is going to be slow, we feel like. And everything we're doing is to help our industry, our tourism partners with the information that they need. We've posted a lot on social media. We've used all our platforms to share whatever they're doing in their business. If they change their hours, if they now do curbside, or they're doing, virtual events. I'm just really proud of all our partners that have taken a huge step to stay open with whatever they could, whether, a lot of small businesses were not doing Etsy, or they weren't doing online shopping. They really had to change a business model, and some of them changed their business model more than once to try to make it. And it's really sad when they don't make it. We've had some folks close. One that I'm really close to here in Benson, Preston Woodall House, and it's extremely sad that they have closed.
Yeah.
I hate to see anybody else, closed during this time, but if you can't do business, you can't make money, and they have to make money to stay open. So.
Yeah, sure. Well, we appreciate the effort of you and your team in these difficult times, for sure, and it's made a difference. So know you've made a difference for sure.
I hope so.
So if there was any one or two things you wanted to tell the world about the Johnston County Visitors Bureau, what would that be?
Well, I don't know if I talked too much about our grants program. We talked a little bit about matching marketing for festivals, but we've also invested over $1 million of room tax into bricks and mortar development in the county, from the Paul A. Johnson Auditorium to the chamber building that you're sitting in today. All our museums, Bentonville, Ava Gardner, Tobacco Farm Life Museum, Howell Woods for recreation, the chamber building over in Clayton. We've invested to build our infrastructure and make our community stronger for the visitor and what they're going to experience. But these things also benefit our residents. We were very involved in agritourism in the county for many, many years. Very involved in recreation development. We started we did a Parks and Recreation master plan, which is being updated as we speak with Adrian O'Neill, who's now our parks director here in the county. And so we're very involved behind the scenes, like you said, that maybe people don't know that we're doing. Personally, I've served on almost everybody's board in the county over the years, and very hands-on. And actually, I and my staff designed the Benson Museum of Local History. I do the exhibit design work at the Ava Gardner Museum and the Johnston County Heritage Center. So very involved to help those projects and the story that we tell our visitors when they come through the county. So very involved locally. And I still love my job. Tough year. It's been a very tough year.
Yeah.
But I love my job, and I'm sitting in front of a Zoom background I created this morning. The holidays are here, and we're really, all our marketing right now is shop local, find deals at the outlet center, enjoy our holiday events, and starting tonight, the drive-by Christmas Village event in Kenley starts. And I know my friends at Tobacco Farm Life Museum have been decorating the farmstead, and you can drive through with lights and take your family out and do a drive-through Christmas experience. So if you want to go and find out what's happening for the holidays in Johnston County, I always have to do a little marketing plug. Can't hardly help myself. It's johnstoncounty.nc.org/holidays, and you'll find information on events and information on shopping. And, our tourism partners need you more than ever right now.
Yep.
Everybody's doing what they can, but, even if you're just buying gift certificates for restaurants that you want to support, or, buy local and have them ship something if you can't visit families, and get out and support our local folks. Be safe, of course, and I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. It's a different kind of year, but we're going to get through this.
For sure. Donna, thank you so much for taking a few minutes out, and really thank you for you and your team and all the work you do for the folks here in Johnston County. It's greatly appreciated.
I have a wonderful staff. We worked extremely hard the last few months. It's been like crisis mode every day, but we're all doing it, and I couldn't have done it without any of them, backing us up and working as hard as we do to support the county.
Greatly appreciated, Donna. Thank you so much for taking time today.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye now.
Bye.